Hey guys, welcome to another video. And first of all, before I start off the video, I just want to say thank you for 10,000 subscribers. I'm so thankful, and to all the people the 10,000 people and plus more, I thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting me and also just watching my videos. You know, it really does mean a lot to me. And yeah, so today, as you guys can see in the title below, I am going to be talking about the series that I've been wanting to do for such a long time, and to the people who have been waiting for the series, thank you so much. I had a lot of comments and also just suggestions for the titles that I should do, and I'm going to be deciding on one, and I did, and I decided that I wanted to make the title Idol Insider. It actually had the most likes, and also I liked that name the best too, so this series is going to be called Idol Insider. You know, like people when they do stuff like Idol Insider. I don't know what should I do?
Idol Insider. No.
Idol Insider. No, that's not good. Man, I want to do something creative, like Idol Insider. Maybe the next video, if I think of something like a start of the intro for it, maybe I'll put it, but it's going to be called Idol Insider. And thank you so much to Ann Lee for thinking about the name. I'm so thankful, and thank you. So I was actually thinking about what I should do for my first video for my series, but I think it'll be really good if I do it in order. So today I'm going to be talking about auditions, because the first thing you gotta do when you're trying to become a singer in Korea, you should always have to go through an auditioning process. So that is the thing that I'm going to be touching up on for my first series. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first topic that I'm going to be touching up on is auditions. I'm not only going to be talking about audition processes, but I'm going to be talking about audition shows and also just a little audition tips for you guys, because I feel like you guys might be interested in just a little bit of tips on auditioning and just my personal experiences while I was auditioning. I feel like it'll be really helpful. I feel like for me, if I would have known how auditions were like before, and I would have been a little bit more prepared for the auditions, I feel like it would have been so much better. But you know, yeah, so anybody who's interested, continue to watch. So the first audition that I ever did was an audition, and I think it was when I was around like the beginning year of like my senior year of high school. And I didn't tell any of my friends that I was going to be doing the audition, because you know, it was kind of just like a little embarrassing for me. Like, you know, I didn't know what my friends would think about it, so I just did it very quietly. When you first go into the audition room, you go in with a group of 10 people, and there's going to be a person there and a person with a camera. So there's 2 people who will be watching you, and I'm pretty sure people who've already watched a lot of audition videos, you guys might know, but for those of you guys who don't know, I'm just going to be giving you a little bit of how auditions work. And basically you go in like a row of 10, and each person does whatever they have to do. So they could sing, rap, act, model. Yeah, so for me, when it was my turn, I sang a song, and you know, I was really nervous because it was the first audition that I ever did. I have stage fright just in general. I'm not good with even class presentations. I never was. And after I sang a song, they asked me, oh,
Can you look at the camera?
like just like straight, give side shots. So that's what I did, and days later I got a call and they asked me to audition. So I asked my mom, like I knew that the second auditions were going to be a little bit more serious, but after that my mom kind of refused it, because I was going to school and like I just started my senior year of high school, so she wanted me to just kind of not like go to the audition. So I basically gave that up, and then I just continued on with my schools. So after that, towards like my senior year, the end of my senior year, I did one more audition. It was another company, and it was like a global audition. And upon that, so cut the story, I wanted to come to Korea, and I had like asked my mom, can I come to Korea to, you know, just audition here and there? So my mom said, okay, I'll give you a year. And yeah, so after my senior year of high school, I basically literally packed all my stuff. Like our family, we packed everything in the house and we were planning on to moving to Korea. So at that point, like we only had just necessities like furnitures that we really needed, and everything was already boxed up. And you know, before we left to Korea, there was one more audition in the States, and that audition was K-pop Star Season 2. So I only did the audition because I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Korea anyways, but I really want to give this audition a try. So I did, and I wanted to get more experience because I was always just so nervous when I was doing auditions. And yeah, even still thinking about auditioning, it still gives me, it gets me nervous. Now the K-pop Star Season 2 Auditions Work is there are 4 judges. I know the auditioning process, there are 4 judges. There's an SM judge, a JYP judge, a YG judge, and also the show PD is also a judge as well. And there isn't like a certain person that you can like pick. You're just going to be randomized to going to whatever judge is going to be judging you. Sometimes there'll be like the actual judges, but for me they were just representatives of the company, so it was just the people who pick out people from their company. So like the casting team was there. So when I first went into my room, it was a room and I was just so nervous. But backstory, like rewind, I went to audition a month before and he noticed me. So as soon as I went into my K-pop Star like the judge room, he was like, oh,
I've seen you somewhere now.
I was like, oh yeah, I did audition for like you guys like a month ago.
So he was like, oh yeah, I think I remember you, like you look very familiar.
So I was like, oh, cool. Like for me, I was like, oh man, I already failed this audition because like they didn't think of me too much like there. So I was like, all right, whatever. But then I sang a couple of songs and I got a pass to go to the second round, and I was just like so shook. I was like, oh my god, like what am I supposed to do? Like I was singing a bunch of songs and I was like, did they finish with all the auditions? I got to be in front of around like 30 staff and like just like the judges as well, and I was basically just doing what I did. Like I auditioned and it just ended like that. So I was like, all right, cool. Like I went up to the second round. I'm pretty content, so I was very just like thankful for even having that experience. It did give me like more confidence. And then 3 days later, I got a call. Hey, this is like the writer for SBS, K-pop Star Season 2. We just want to know if we can film something. We're filming a couple of contestants here and there. So I was like, all right. Like I really thought that they were just going to be like filming me, just filming little stuff here and there. But we spent the whole day filming. We were filming me singing, me walking around California, and then they gave me a plane ticket. So that's how I first got to come to Korea and just do what I did in the past. But yeah, that's like my auditioning process. If I can give you guys a little bit of tips on auditioning, when you guys write audition forms, they're going to be in Korean. So I highly recommend you guys writing all the things that are necessary in writing a form in Korean beforehand on your notes, like your phone notes. And it's really helpful because for me, even though I am Korean American, I had trouble writing in Korean. So every time I had to fill out a paper, I was always just like lost because I didn't know how to write Korean. I just wasn't prepared of what I was supposed to be prepared with, because they ask you for things you're good at, like also your hobbies or just like your address. So I definitely feel like you guys who are interested in auditioning, you guys should always just have a Korean version of whatever you guys want to put on a form. audition form. Very helpful. If I knew before, it would have saved me so much time. I would always be asking people next to me like who knew how to write Korean.
Oh, hey, can you help me write this?
And it was just really I'm so thankful for the people who did help me out, but it was just really stressful, you know. Another advice that I have is be confident. I know that sounds very cliche, but when I was going to auditions, my first auditions, I was very just kind of like, oh my god, like, I don't know what to do. I was very nervous. But for me, I feel like as I did a lot more auditions, it's very important for you to be confident. You're looking for talent and potential, but if you think about it, there are not going to be a lot of people who have like a well-rounded like talent. Like it's still in the making. So for me, I feel like having confidence is the number one thing to actually building up your talents. So I feel like definitely just be confident with whatever you have. It's something that you guys like to do, you know, it's something that you guys want to do. So I feel like definitely be confident, and when they see that, it'll definitely be a plus. It's never gonna be a minus for being too confident. Also is to have backup songs and, you know, just things that you prepared. For me, I was always put on guard when I only prepared 1 or 2 songs, but they asked me to sing a different style. So I sing a song, and then they say, oh, do you have a Korean song? And I was like, yeah. So I sing a Korean song, and they say, oh, do you have like another and like a K-pop Korean song? And I'm like, oh. So I feel like always just have a couple of songs prepared. It's always good to be prepared for an audition. I feel like being prepared shows them that you actually care. So definitely, I feel like you guys should always have more than one and also have it perfected in a certain way. When you're at audition programs, not just like audition, but audition show programs, to be honest, there are a lot of people who are picked for the talent, of course, but it is a show, so there are going to be writers for the show, and they pick people's stories as well. So you're writing the form, they ask you to, you know, talk a little bit about yourself or introduce yourself, which is also in Korean, so, you know, always have that prepared too. So I think that was kind of a downside of audition programs. Sometimes it's not all about talent, like that's the part that sucks. There's always going to be something in an audition program where they want to just kind of over exaggerate things. So I feel like for me, that was like the hardest part, was just knowing that I had to have like a story while I was doing it. So yeah. Another advice that I have is for people who audition, I highly recommend just auditioning at places where they are open in your hometown. It's always great to audition when you're, you know, coming to Korea, but I hope that you guys do not just pack your bags and just come to Korea, which I know that a lot of people do, but it is a lot harder. There are so many people who audition in Korea, so much more than actual global auditions. So it's always something that you guys should think about before. To be honest, I didn't think about it before, and you know, things did work out like in the end, but if I think about it now, I thank my mom so much for giving me like a chance and like a year to audition, but it is something that is very hard, and I also feel like you just need to be kind of like realistic about it. So yeah. This video I talked about auditions, and the next video that I'm going to be talking about next is just a little bit of how the trainee life kind of is, and also just kind of how when you sign contracts, how that's going to be going into play. That is probably the thing that I want to talk about the most, because I feel like people do not know too much about contract terms in Korea. Oh man. Like, whew. I'm going to be uploading it back to back, so just keep updated on the series, and yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and that was my first video for Idol Insider.